is Eugene Mushai, who is from Amref Health Innovations. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Nelima.
And welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
And Happy New Year. I saw you, is it last year or the other year? I think it's been such a long time.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Great.
Yeah.
Good thing we are talking about the same thing,
Yeah.
same impact, same interventions.
Right, and we'll be able to see the progress since the last time.
Yes.
I met you because the last time you were here, we were talking about the Braille. So we'll be able to see, are there any more new advancements in this field?
Yes.
But as well, so 650 million people in the world living with some form of disability.
Yes.
This is a huge number.
Very true.
And so then we have to include these needs that people have in our society, in our communities, at our job places, in classrooms. So what do you think, what do you make so far of the inclusion of people living with disabilities?
All right, thank you, Nelima. For the sake of our viewers who don't know me, my name is Eugene Mushai. I'm the Community Associate at Amref Health Innovations. Our interventions are basically digital solutions for health and persons with disabilities. And we're very keen on even supporting other organizations that are doing technical support, digital innovation, and other forms of science and technology innovations for the sake of the community. We realize that majority of the people living with disabilities have had a problem with health or a challenge with health. So sometimes it is either health or an accident or even birth. And so we say that everyone is a candidate of disability. We could be talking here and the next minute you have a disability, one or the other. So the number 650 million or 15% of the world is just what has been established yet. There could be more cases that have not come to the fore. Exactly. For example, in Kenya, we realize that data on disability has not been very well organized. Most of the players in the disability sector have cited a lot of challenges understanding and relating with the data that we have on disability. And so there could be more. And science and also research has pointed to the fact that we are likely to have more cases of disability. And so this is the right time for us to start embracing disability if we haven't, and to think about disability more programmatically and in a way that disability is not an exclusion, but part of our normal living. So that as you design structures, as you design systems, even as you design curriculum, then disability is at the center of what we are talking about, what we are doing. It should not be weird for someone to have a disability. It should be obvious, acceptable, and accommodatable. So they should not be sticking out of the crowd. Yes. We should have already included that. To not see them any different. Even in the planning, I really had wished to have disability well defined in the CBC curriculum as it was being designed. I know there is a lot that is happening in terms of developing CBC, but I'm hoping that by and by we shall have more developments in terms of inclusion, inclusive education, and even inclusive social living in the government policies, in the county governments, and also in our normal societies, in your church, in the community, in the village. How do we talk about disability? How do we talk about inclusion? Because the earlier you learn about inclusion, the earlier you learn about disability, the earlier you learn about adapting infrastructure to cater for persons with disabilities, then the earlier we shall live in a more accommodative society, in a more socially cohesive society, where everyone feels part of the society. Right. True. And you are passionate about this, and I know it is work, but you have to be passionate for you to work in this field. Yes. So why is it very important to you? Why did you get into it? I remember when I was growing up, I interacted with a lot of children with disabilities in the children's homes and orphanages. I don't know why I used to have a lot of interactions with persons with disabilities, but I think that is where in our society, especially in the slum areas, orphanages and children homes are the centers for growing or just placing children with disabilities. A lot of people in my neighborhood and in the village will get children with disabilities and then just immediately take them to the orphanages and support them from there. Sometimes they just dump them there and go. So I learned about disability from a very young age, and I really wanted to understand the whole concept of inclusion. How can we make life better? Can we change the story from the needy part of the society, the unfortunate part of the society, the secluded part of the society, to bringing persons with disabilities, and this does not include children, to the same opportunities as other people? Can we expose them to the same home environment, home care as other children? Let them play with the rest. Let them play like the rest. Let persons, youth with disabilities, access employment opportunities, just like any other person. There is totally no need for you to segregate, have done PWDs and have PWDs in another space. So my passion came out of a lot of interaction with persons with disabilities, and also now growing up and understanding the science behind disability, the health around disability, and also what we could do to support persons with disabilities became not just a career path I wanted to explore, but also something I would want to do as part of social living and social growing, which is very fulfilling. Yes, the more you do it, the more interesting it becomes. Okay. Yes.
And there are schools for the blind.
Yes.
And so would you say then that what you're looking to do is more include the people living with disability within the same school as other people, and not so much putting them on their own?
Now, always there's always a starting point for anything. The way our culture and our society and our education system has been designed is that we have special schools for persons with disabilities, and then what we'll call regular schools. And that has worked for the past. But now we are informed in a different way. There's need for change, and I'm happy with what the Ministry of Education is doing through the Department of Special Needs Education, where they are promoting integrated education. So that now, more than ever before, we have schools like, I know there's Kajiado, there's Machakos,